Well, hi.
Hi, good afternoon, evening, I guess.
Not quite 12 hours late, but nonetheless here and present.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a little excitement this morning, so between a dog running away yesterday and then just some things kind of, the wagon wheels fell off,
So yesterday was a big day for dogs. My dogs, my Newfies, or I guess our Newfies, but I take care of them mostly, got brought home by a cop car. It's like having teenage boys again.
Morning. Yep, we looked for them for a few hours and
then had to go to work and
finally got the call.
Got a call, and the sheriff said, "Oh, okay, I'll just turn around and come back and drop them off." So that was really super nice of him. And then Sage,
my dog,
ran off. Yeah, you say she's your dog. She's always sitting in my lap. But whatever.
She loves me more.
Okay, good to know. So anyway,
Enough about our excitement.
enough about that. We're talking about awareness.
Last week we talked about awareness. Actually, this week we're talking about acceptance.
So I'm not so aware. Acceptance.
Yeah.
And there's a really bright sun back there, isn't
Yeah,
there?
we're on a walk this evening, so we thought, well, we will do a quick live here and touch base with everyone. And
so, last week awareness, this week acceptance.
oh, there's somebody's behind us. Go ahead, sir.
Hi there.
Yeah, you're fine.
Nice afternoon, huh?
It's beautiful.
So that's the issue with doing things on the trail. Is,
Wonderful.
He's a great guy. So awareness, and then acceptance.
Acceptance, yes.
Yeah,
There's
awareness and then
coming up
acceptance.
ahead.
Of course there are. So it's interesting because we walk this trail all the time and never see a single soul.
It's just us,
Yeah.
except for this evening.
Yeah.
But so acceptance, I think a lot of time people mistake that with giving up. And really, it's about letting go of resistance, I feel.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point. It's not about giving up. It's not about surrendering. Acceptance is simply recognizing that this is the starting place. This, whatever this is the starting place, and that's acceptance. So, the notion that it's giving up, no, it's just reality. So I think that's a really important piece. And so last week we talked quite a bit about awareness, and awareness is really about being present and seeing without judgment. And then acceptance is really about, again, being present in the reality of the moment. Whatever that reality is, you just accept it. And then if you don't like that reality, well, then we fix it, right? That's what free will is all about. That's what our ability to change things is all about. So, what are your thoughts there?
When it comes to the word acceptance, a lot of times I kind of put that around like almost negative things, like, okay, I have to accept this, or this obstacle is in front of me, I accept what I have to do. But for me, sometimes I find it's accepting positive things, like I am worthy to receive this, I accept it. Or really I can accept a compliment from someone. Or I can accept, what someone is saying to me is the underlying tone is, not one of judgment, because a lot of times my own judgments come through in the conversations I have with people. So for me, I took on this word acceptance of the year. Like I said, they kind of come to me, but I was thinking it was going to be more of like an acceptance of hard things. And for me, the insight really in this first quarter has been more about my acceptance of good things, which I found really interesting.
Yeah, trying to get the sun right out of everybody's eyes. Yeah, I think that's really interesting too. And what percentage of us get in our own way? And
it's true.
Yeah.
Like, nope, I don't need that, or nope, I don't deserve that, or no, they don't like me, or I can't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's accepting a challenge, and sometimes it is accepting hard things too, and just accepting where you're at on your journey, instead of striving. It's, not complacent, but kind of a contentment almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree, and I think it's a powerful thing. People say, I don't have time. Well, you don't not have time. Not accepting and not, being aware and accepting. If you're not doing those things, you're spinning your wheels. You're fighting windmills, as they say. You're not really striving forward. So and I guess I'm cutting my head off, but I'm trying to keep the sun out of your eyes. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's a really important thing to think about. And we talk about this topic in healthcare. I almost dropped the phone there. I'm trying to switch hands. What does this have to do with being healthy?
That's a good question. I think we concentrate on, very important things like diet, lifestyle, and exercise, movement, but those are just one piece of like an 8-piece pie. And kind of that, this month we're diving more into the mental, emotional, spiritual aspects, because those are often overlooked, but for a lot of patients, it kind of at the core of what is, unfolding in their lives. So, acceptance is a word, I think, that kind of goes, the awareness piece of it, being aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and then also accepting yourself as you are, is important on the journey.
Yeah, I really agree with that. And so that's sort of the emotional, the mental, emotional, spiritual aspect, but there's a physiological aspect too. If you're constantly in fight or flight, how many millions of times have I said this, but if you're constantly in fight or flight, you're shunting blood away from your immune system, you're shunting blood away from your brain, you're shunting blood away from your stress response systems. And it shuts down your immune system, it shuts down your ability to cope, it shuts down your ability to make good choices, and none of that is good for healing. Mm-hmm. It interferes with your sleep, just everything that we don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
except the present moment.
Yeah, so I would say it's critical to think about becoming aware, mm-hmm. and becoming and accepting. And what are we talking about next week?
It's another A word. I forgot.
It's funny because I just wrote up. I can't remember either, and that's really funny because I just wrote a long script about it for a podcast I want to do.
I know, it's amazing how words can sometimes just they're right there and then poof.
Yep.
Until we hit
so guess what?
And then it will come up. But
yeah, it's going to be a surprise.
We've actually already posted about what we're talking about next week. But I don't remember. Yeah,
that's what experts we are. I can't remember.
Yeah, and actually tomorrow morning we are going to be at Mother's Cupboard.
Oh yeah.
Doing a little just a little bit of education, Q&A, and we're discussing the 5R.
Yeah, so when I first started in functional medicine in 127 years ago, there were 4R. Now it's 5. Mm-hmm. I heard on the internet, I was listening to something, and the person said, well, that old 5R, it's outdated. No, it's not. It's a scaffold. It's a scaffold for which you can put just about anything you can think of that has to do with a reset on it. Mm-hmm. So, if somebody thinks it's outdated, it's because they have rigid thinking about it. Mm-hmm. So it is a beautiful model called the 5R program. The last R is rebalance. Yeah. And that's sort of what we're talking about now. Yeah. Part of it. There's more to it. But in any event, So we're going to talk about that tomorrow at Mother's Covered here in New London,
At
Minnesota.
9:30 a.m.
9:30 a.m.
Yep, and we are going to try to also set that up so we can stream it live as well, so you can listen in.
All right. Sounds awesome.
All
Hope
right,
to see you there.
I think his arm's going to fall off. So.
Yeah. No sissy selfie sticks for us. I'm just got my arms sticking straight out holding the phone.
This was very impromptu, but
Yeah.
everyone have a wonderful Friday or whenever you catch this conversation, and we'll see you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.